Hey guys, welcome back to another episode with the MTB Shed. We are doing an order opening. When we get our weekly orders in, I'll run through them with you guys and show you some of the common items that are coming into the shop here. So this is a real look at things that we're using to refill the shelves, things that customers are asking for, or just other little kind of cool new products that are out there. We'll hop right into it tonight. We got some lube, some grips it looks like, and then some brake stuff. So we'll be able to bang through this quick. Stick with us and we'll get right started. We've got a close-up view here as well, so you guys can see everything that's going on. You guys can go to mtbshed.com. It really helps us out if you subscribe, so please do that if you can. So first things first, our favorite lube company, Rock and Roll. So Rock and Roll is a really cool company out of Texas. Rock and Roll makes what we use here in shop, which is the Holy Cow. I'll show you guys close up. So Holy Cow lube cleans and lubes in one step. So I use that pretty often. Or the Absolute Dry is a very nice lube as well. So typically, anytime I've seen any test done or anything like that, Rock and Roll comes up. So something to keep in mind when you are putting on Rock and Roll lubrication, you will put it on heavily. So put a rag under, put a piece of cardboard under your bike when you're doing this. Make sure you're not splashing on the rotor, but you want to slowly backpedal and apply this stuff liberally. Shake it all up. You'll be able to see it's a nice clear bottle. So having the clear bottle, you can see all that stuff down at the bottom. So this liquid here is just basically a carrier. We need that to evaporate off. So after you shake this up really good, you want to get it all mixed in there. Sometimes you can, pro tip, you can put a ball bearing in there or a little rock or just anything to help to agitate that. That'll help mix things up quicker. So yeah, apply it liberally and then wipe it all right back off. If you're using Holy Cow, it actually helps pull dirt out from in between the rollers. So after you go take a little test ride, see how your bike's running, you may want to wipe the chain down again. Then this stuff needs to set up overnight. So you use a lot more of that than you will something like Muck Off, which is our next lube. So second most popular lube here in the shop is Muck Off Dry Lube. Again, does really well in reviews. The Muck Off Dry Lube, dry weather lube, as you can see here, is again one of the more popular lubes here in the shop. We sell mostly Holy Cow, Muck Off, and then obviously we're restocking the Absolute Dry, so we're selling a lot of Absolute Dry as well. So we are completely sold out of that stuff. So there you go. If you're looking for lube, this is what we sell a lot of the most. All right. Real quick before we jump into grips, this is a tubeless sealant or a tube sealant. So liquid, kind of like our tubeless stuff, but you can put this in your tube. So if you are on an entry-level mountain bike, grab the Muck Off inner tube sealant, put that in your tube. That might help. If you do get the most common way people get flats on mountain bikes is going to be a pinch flat. So you can grab the inner tube sealant here. Those small little pinch flats will get sealed up with this sealant. So that's really nice. If you can't run tubeless on your bike, this is a really great solution to give you some protection out there. Like I said, 90%, it's not, at least here in the Midwest and Missouri. I understand other areas you guys have different obstacles on the trail to contend with. But here, most of our flats come from pinch flats. So if we can put a tube sealant in there or a sealant in your tube to take care of those pinch flats, the little snake bites you end up getting in your tube, then we can prevent you having to walk your bike out or having to change a tire when you're out on the trail. So that's fun. All right, let's jump into grip. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay all these out. So this has always been one of the more popular grips. This is the Ergon GA2. The cool thing about the GA2 is it's wider here, and then it gets thinner towards the interior. So not sure how well you guys can see that, but you can tell that's just really confusing things. you can tell that this tapers in, and that really helps as far as your grip and control on that bike. So really neat to have that. We have a variety of colors. Purple, black GA2s. So there is, and then they of course got the fatter grips as well. This is recommended glove size, large or extra large. So it doesn't tell me how fat the grip actually is. Do have micrometers nearby. All right, let's measure. So let's see, the the fat grip on the end oh my goodness. All right, on the end we're looking at 33 millimeters, almost 34, and on the narrowest section 31 millimeters. So that's on the fat, and then you guys are going to be upside down, sorry, can't help that. On the standard, we're looking at 31 on the fattest section and 28 here on the skinnier section. So I'll flip this around. So we've got 31.4 millimeters here on the GA2, and then comes into 30 millimeters opposed to our fat grip, which is going to be 34 millimeters and 32 millimeters. So interesting difference between the GA2 fat and the standard. Very neat. GA2 for our twist specific folks. So for any of you guys on your 24-inch bikes, if you can't switch over to a grip shifter, if you need something new, get that. These plastic caps at the end here, these end caps are replaceable. You can purchase those. We do sell them here at the shop. These tend to get torn up. So the only kind of negative I'd say with Ergon is these plastic tips getting torn up on them. So keep that in mind. All right, more GA2 fats. So this is the ODI Elite Pro. Very popular grip, ODI. These ODs but seem to just be the perennial favorite. So again, single lock on, but this got a little bit more rubber coverage here. This is the Elite Pro from ODI. But yeah, this rubber here is a little bit thicker. You can see how it kind of tapers out there compared to the Ergon grip, which is just going to be hard plastic there. So pretty cool. The ODI Rogue is pretty popular, that's for sure. And then we brought some deities in. These weren't requested by anybody, but the colors were awesome. So I grabbed them. We've got gray and blue. I would almost want to do, I'd buy both of these, and then I'd have two sets of grips, and I'd run a gray on one side and a blue on the other. A good idea for everyone to run different color pedals and grips. We've seen a few of our Grom riders do that, and it's pretty cool. So these have that rib design. It is an angled rib. Maybe let's look at the blue one. It's an angled rib towards the outer part of the hand, and then just standard ribs there. Now for good measure, this is a 31.5 grip, and these ODIs they're about 30.5. So the ODIs are definitely the thinnest out of the grouping. The deities are kind of a good mix in that, but pretty cool looking as well. All right, guys, so that's all for the fun stuff. We did get some Hayes brake pads in. Strangely enough, I don't think we've ever in 5 years had these Hayes brake pads in. So that's weird, but we do have them now for a customer. So I'm glad we have them. But yeah, it hasn't came up for these old Hayes brakes that anyone's needed pads from us. So now we have them. All right, and then last, and certainly not least, one of our most popular items here in the shop. This is the Shimano hydraulic disc brake. It's a BLMT201. So basically just a 2-piston replacement brake. So if you have a sub $1,500 bike and it does not already have these brakes on it, we do recommend this instead of breaking or bleeding your old system. These brakes are going to cost you about $40. If things are externally routed, then it's pretty easy to swap these over. The cables do need to be resized. We have to trim those down. As long as that's done with care, then we don't need to do a full system rebleed. However, if it's internally routed, it gets a little bit trickier to pull that off. Sometimes we can still do it without doing a full bleed, but we do end up bleeding those systems when we have to run the lines through that way. Either or, these run about $40, $50, whatever it may be. If you're getting a bleed done at a shop, it's going to cost you $40 or $50. So you're better off doing this and then, paying somebody to resize them. The Shimano brakes are really nice. I'll crack them open to show you guys. Get these grips out of here. All right, so the 201 series or the Alivio series, it's going to come on most of your nicer entry-level brakes from Shimano. This lever has gotten really nice, so you can do one-finger braking with it, which didn't used to be the case with older Shimano Alivio or the MTO, the M200 series. So if you have an older bike that's older than like 5 years old, like pre-2020, then upgrading to these brakes is going to be a big difference as far as feel goes. And then you can see your actual master cylinder here is this cylindrical shape, which was, kind of only found on XTRs and XTs and SLXs for the longest time. So worthwhile upgrade for $40 if you have an older set of Shimanos, or if you have, there's definitely mineral oil over this one. I'm not looking forward to that. It just goes to show things don't always show up here at the shop lot. We have to deal with sometimes. But yeah, a little bit of a mess going on with this one. I'm going to set it to the side so I know to take a look at it. But yeah, I think that this is a great upgrade for anybody. For $80, you can get a set of brakes front and rear. If you have external routing, then it's really easy to install. I do recommend getting proper caliper brake adapters for your caliper. Shimano brand, don't just use the ones that you already have on your bike. Get some that are specific for the brand brake that you're putting on. So upgrade to hydraulic MT201, the new Shimano Alivio hydraulic disc brake. It is very nice lever pull. You'll love it. You'll thank us. Yeah, that's it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We try to do more videos like this, give you guys an insight as to the stuff coming into the shop on a regular basis, so you know what other mountain bikers are using, what's working for them, and sometimes what's not working. Thanks for tuning in.